Hello, and welcome to another Top of Mind with Doug. Today is July 12th, 2026, and this is my 3 month check in for retirement. It seems amazing that 3 months has already passed, but indeed that is the case. So I wanted to establish a record of how things have gone so far, and bottom line, pretty good. Um, although this episode is about me, I hope that others might be able to learn a thing from it as well. So, the truth is that I had a fear of doing this badly. I have seen people who have retirement, they dream of the day that finally they'll no longer be doing the 9 to 5 thing, and they think it's all going to be grand and peaches and cream, and it just doesn't turn out that way, and they end up actually losing a lot of their character, and things just, bottom line, they don't go well. So I've had the fear of that, and so I've put together some safeguards to make sure that that doesn't happen. I wanted to stay on the straight and narrow. So earlier this week, I put together a retirement contract, and this is an agreement with myself. It's a 17-point plan, and I review it weekly, and doing pretty well on that. So hopefully that that continues. So basically, there's 3 phases at I'll say retirement. I was going to say end of life, but I don't want to say that. There's still a whole lot of runway left, and I didn't coin these phrases myself. They're out there, but there are what is known as the go-go years, and that is when you're full of life and vitality, and you have good health, and maybe even have financially in a situation good enough that you can do some pretty exciting things that are farther than just your immediate neighborhood. So that's the go-go years. Though that's followed by the go slow years, and that's where your body just starts to to age and starts to feel it, and it's happened to everybody. And so at that point, you need to go slow. Don't stop going. You just go slow, and then you get into the no go years. And no go years are when you're largely confined to a smaller space and mostly sedentary. So I am in the go-go years. I'll be 60 in a few weeks, and I figure that these go-go years may go 10 years, Lord willing. So I'm calling this, 500 epic weeks, so 500 weeks of go-go. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But believe it or not, so 13 of these 5 weeks are in the book. So I'm at 2.5% spent already in the go-go years. So underlying from all of this is an extreme intentionality. Don't let a day go by. I don't want to waste a single day. I really don't want to waste a single hour within that day. So what have I been up to? Basically, so there was a book written maybe a decade ago by David Brooks. It was called The Second Mountain. And what it deals with is in life you have 2 mountains. And the first mountain is basically you're building, you're establishing yourself. You have a lot of financial responsibilities. You get the kids through school. You've got the mortgage, and you've got all the career that you're building. And so David Brooks calls this the resume. The first mountain is based on the resume. Mountain number 2, that's the second mountain. Not to go too deep into this, but that's based on the eulogy. And so the eulogy are, all the stuff on the first mountain, it matters in this world and the next. It does, but the second mountain is more based on the next. So I'm being very intentional to focus on relationships, spirituality, my connection with Jesus, my time with Jesus, mental acuity, emotional intelligence, and helping others. So I want to, and I have been spending a great deal of time um, in that domain. So some things I've been up to. Let's talk about travel. So in the last 3 months, I've camped outdoors 3 times with family and friends. Remarkable times. The most epic of this was our trip to the Grand Canyon, where we did a hike. As part of this, we did a hike that was from the South Rim down to the river. We camped there a night and then hiked back up a different trail on the South Rim the next day. I will have a video of this coming out shortly. So there you go. You're welcome to watch that. I've been snorkeling twice, so I didn't know that I might enjoy such a thing, but as it turns out, I do. So there's more of that in my future. Been on the Brightline train, been wanting to do that for a while. It's not a real big deal, but it's kind of special. You live in Central Florida. This is a train that runs from Orlando all the way down to Miami, and if you haven't done it, give it a try. And I've gone to Michigan to see my sister and to see family. That was July 4th. But all this, I know I just didn't have margin in my life previously to explore and do these kinds of things. So the other aspect I've been focusing on is church and church-based relationships. You know, when I look at my friendships, so many of these we're connected on account of our common belief in Christ, and we assemble every week or more than once a week. We've been doing this for years, so I guess it really shouldn't be surprised when I look at who my friends are. So many of them are from church. So I've been focusing to deepen those relationships and meeting with brothers. I'll have lunch 2 or 3 times a week with various folks, and just being intentional to carve out that time and getting to know those people better. Our church also is going through a transition. It's a good transition. It's 100% good transition, and I've been honored to be a part to assist in that, to the glory of God. Absolutely. Reading, I was a heavy reader even prior to retirement, but now in retirement, I read even more than I did previously, and recently finished 2 mammoths. So a mammoth is a book that's approaching 1,000 pages. Might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less. And I've done a couple of these in the past, and I would encourage you, if you've never read a very good, and not length for the sake of page count, but just there are so many good works that are worth your time and attention, and the character development and the stories just require that kind of a page count. So one of these is Count of Monte Cristo, and I'll be doing a video on that. I may call it The Wisdom of Monte Cristo. I think I'll be doing a video on that shortly. And another is Don Quixote that I'll be finishing up this week. I've got 2 more lectures left. I'm doing this with, it's an old lecture series that's on Yale University. They did 24 one-hour lectures, so I'm through with 22 of those and down to the last 3 pages of the book. My, incredible. Very, very good reads. I want to encourage you. The how-to books and the self-help books, all these are good. I've read so many of them, but I really believe that a great deal of wisdom and say understanding and probably empathy can be gained by reading some great books, some Western civilization classics. So more on that in future top of minds. So on the house front, so I cook regularly, and I've expanded my menu. My favorite tools are the Kamado grill, which is like a green egg that's been a favorite of mine for a couple of decades. Mixed with this is a Dutch oven and a wok. And it's amazing you can combine those three, and with those combinations, you can do some pretty phenomenal stuff. So I've enjoyed doing that, and I know that that's of great help around here, that Robin appreciates it. And a side visit is that I can make food, and when there's food here, um, we can entice kids to come over, and we get to spend time with them with some good eats. So next year on Household is a confession. Robin and I will be celebrating our 39th anniversary in next weekend. And excuse me, throughout all that time, she has done my laundry. She's done all the laundry. And so, okay, I'm not proud of that, but that's how it is. But since retirement, I've decided to take over my laundry because I don't think I could probably, fold Robin's well enough. Um, I don't even fold mine well enough to meet her standards, but she lets me get by with it. And I have a whole bunch of laundry just due to the amount of working out I do. So I sweat a lot and I go through a lot of that kind of stuff. So I've been doing laundry and a number of home projects as well. On average, I'll probably carve out an hour or so a day for just little things that need some sprucing up or some home improvements that we've been talking about for a while. So doing good on the home front. Exercise, I've been exercising quite good even prior to retirement. It has increased somewhat now, and this is due. Right now, it's due to training for an Ironman that's in Augusta, a half Ironman in Augusta on September 27th. So the running and cycling is, I'm accustomed to that, but there's a great deal of swimming involved in I don't care for the swimming. I'm just glad when it's done, but I do it. So anyway, I'm keeping in good physical shape. I feel probably stronger now than maybe going back to like 2021. 2020 during COVID, I was working out with Jenna. We were part of a gym that was pretty serious. So I think I was probably in my later adult years, probably in the best shape in 2020. But next to that, I think it's probably now. So what is next? Continued as highest priority is to connect and just deepen those connections with family. Also given more thought to my friendships, who is that close ring of lifelong friendships. Let's put more time into those because those are the people that we're going to be around, maybe 20, 30 years from now. So be cognizant, and I want to spend some time and make an investment in that small ring of friends. And I also want to make more robust, strengthen, I'll say the medium ring of friends, that 12 to 20 people or so that we just make each other better. And to continue with mentoring, I do have a heart for young men, especially, that I'm more than happy to sit down with almost anybody. And not that I know it all, because I do not. I've made my share of mistakes, but I have, of course, I'm further down the road than than a young man, and I have seen a thing or two. So my heart does reach out to them, and I will take the time to talk with them and try to share some of the things that I've learned or I believe along the way. Always looking for new cooking recipes. YouTube's a great resource. Certain people that we follow on that, just to try new things. So new books to read. I'll be joining an online book club starting in July. So I'm excited about that, and also reading some books with some close friends. So that's always good when you can read with somebody else. Read with a brother. It gives you something to connect over. So if you're not reading with a buddy, I'd suggest try it. It makes for good conversations and deep conversations. I'm going to continue the training program. Run, bike, swim, lift weights, stretch, that sort of thing. Uh, Something that has been on my mind for probably decades was I've always wondered if I would make a good teacher. Uh, I kind of feel like I would enjoy doing that, and so um, I'm continuing to uh, think about that, put a little water and sunshine on that. Perhaps in 2027, that could be a possibility. I know going into retirement, I decided that I would make no commitment for 12 months, um, but 3 of those months are already gone. So we'll see what happens over the next 9 months or so. But I give the glory to God, but for His grace, but for His grace, but for His grace. Uh, and that's it. Checking out. We'll see you later.